Hello, everyone. Welcome to Backyard Musings, broadcasting live from Apple Valley. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
Thank you for joining us today. Happy Monday, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
First Monday of June.
The Biden-Harris idiocracy has ascended to new levels of the Three Stoogesism. And we're gonna break this down. This is whoop, 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 whoop at its best. House Republicans want the audio tapes of the interview between Special Counsel Hur and Biden regarding illegal classified material retention, and they want it for a good reason.
I'd want to listen to those or see those, wouldn't you?
I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you remember the interview that resulted in breaking the law, but Biden was unable to stand trial because he's a sympathetic, forgetful old man that could not be convicted in Washington, D.C., right, Uncle Joe? Let's move the capital to Indianapolis. The capital's been in Philly, New York.
Kansas. Let's move it to...
Move it to Kansas City or St. Louis.
Yeah, wherever.
Well, no.
Maybe not St. Louis, but...
I'm saying Indianapolis. That's a good... Or Dallas.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Why not?
How about Salt Lake City, Utah?
Salt Lake City. All the museums could stay in D.C., right? But I digress. Let's get back on target. The House wants the tapes to hear exactly how sympathetic and how forgetful is the most powerful man in the world. But is Biden really the most powerful man in the world? You can't be feckless and hold power, right? Seems like it's a toss-up. Flip the coin between Xi and Putin.
Well, they got to be loving it right now.
But I digress.
Yeah. So the White House will not release the tapes because of executive privilege. Didn't the White House release a 345-page report in February? What about...
Throw the executive privilege out.
Let's be selective.
You got the text.
Yeah. So not much privilege to assert for something for which the content is already available.
Am I missing something?
Yeah.
Am I missing something?
Yeah. So why we don't just understand why you need the audio? Give us those transcripts.
Right.
Yeah, because anybody could mess with the audio, right?
Nothing to see here.
Yeah,
right?
and in the day of AI, anybody could mess with those, right?
Well, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So Hur mischaracterized the interviews.
That's what Biden said.
Yep. Which, how does he even know if he remembers if he was interviewed? So.
And are you going to believe? This guy's Pinocchio. Are you really going to believe that he mischaracterized?
Exactly. So, anyway, the goal is to chop them up, distort them, and use them for partisan political purposes.
That's what the White House counsel said.
Yeah.
Like we're dishonest. We're conservative. There are some blokes out there that are, crafty on the Republican side, but not all of them.
Yeah. It takes one to know one, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wait.
So hence,
what?
We cannot release them because of the potential for AI deepfakes. Garland asked Biden to block the release of the audio, citing concerns that making them public could prompt high-ranking White House officials be less cooperative in future investigations.
What?
Yeah, whatever.
Less cooperative? How can you get less cooperative? You know what I'm saying? Nothing to see here.
Yeah, nothing to see here, right?
Moving along.
So exactly how cooperative is the White House? Transparency? I don't know.
They're cooperative with LGBTQ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
BLM. According to Garland, the committee's needs are plainly insufficient to outweigh the deleterious. These words, man, effects that the productions of the recordings would have on the integrity and effectiveness of similar law enforcement investigations in the future.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. Word salad.
What does that even mean?
Kamala could have written that.
Mr. President, we can't release those tapes. Please do not allow me to release them. Come on. Really? That's why they pivot and assert the deepfakes privilege, or DFP. Jonathan Turley explains that from impeachment to oversight to the 25th Amendment, allowing the removal of a president for incapacities, there are ample reasons for Congress to demand information and evidence from the government on these questions. Congress is also interested in looking at repeated admissions for inaudible statements. They've heard the tape. There's inaudible things. Under this sweep,
Inaudible?
yeah,
From
like,
Uncle Joe? Are you kidding me?
Oh, Saturday, Wednesday. Under this sweeping theory that Biden can legitimately withhold these recordings under executive privilege, any president could withhold any evidence of incapacity or criminality.
Really?
Yeah, if they can do it here. So Politico, the chief Democratic media arm, reports, quote, the passage of time and advancements in audio artificial intelligence and deepfake technologies only amplify concerns about malicious manipulation of audio files, end quote. Give me a break.
All right, so any visual or audio, the weekly radio address.
He does a weekly radio address, right?
Have you ever listened to it?
No.
Yeah, me neither. According, the recording of the president could be withheld due to the danger of digital or other manipulation. I guess it's factual, right?
It is factual. I mean, we could do it right now.
Yeah, we can manipulate our own show. We must protect you from fake quotes.
Disinformation.
Says the Ministry of Truth.
Yes, the Ministry of Truth has spoken.
Can't you right now reproduce fake recordings using the transcript in question and Biden's voice from all 5 interviews?
All five he's given in the last three and a half years.
Yeah. So what was that? A weekly
radio. All presidents since Delano Roosevelt have done a weekly radio address.
Yeah. So check out this quote from the DOJ.
Let me use my leprechaun voice for this. Let me try this.
Okay.
To be sure, other raw material to create a deep fake of President Biden's voice is already available. But release of the audio... Okay, I'm stopping that. But release of the audio recording presents unique risks. If it were public knowledge that the audio recording has been released, it becomes easier for malicious actors to pass off an altered file as the true recording. I couldn't do the leprechaun. This is a tacit admission of the obvious logical disconnect that the release would make any fake version more credible. Cue the Three Stooges. Here we go. The Stooge is already carefully insulated from questions. He's got note cards that says, call on Betty Joe from CNN, and controlled in public appearances. Remember the Easter Bunny?
And escorting him off the lawn. Yeah.
Remember in Michigan when he was on that porch of that Victorian house and gave his little speech, whatever, and then he went to take questions. Can I take questions? And then
How embarrassing.
the handlers, shoot. He said that. Can I take questions?
Well, did you see the one
shoot
the
him
other
away.
day when they were asking him about the verdict with Trump? He was walking off from the podium and he just turned and gave that little
grin,
that smile.
But Peter Doocy asked, "Well, are you concerned about anyone prosecuting you after you've left the presidency?"
Yep.
I've done nothing wrong. This argument would allow staff to completely control any public or congressional review of his actual speech and discourse. That's the clever Ministry of Truth working at its finest. So, preventing malicious actors from altering reality, the government is claiming the right to frame reality as an inherent constitutional prerogative. That's what Jonathan Turley says.
Yeah, and he's a good man. He's a Democrat, but he's a good, honest guy.
Let me repeat that again, because this has got to sink in. Preventing malicious actors from altering reality, the government is claiming the right to frame reality as an inherent constitutional prerogative. We will set the narrative, right? Yep. That's what it's always been.
So this whole argument, really becomes the legal version of a deep fake.
The whole thing.
Yeah, misrepresenting the law to mislead citizens into believing that they're better off with less information on the credibility and competence of their president.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
Does that sound familiar? With Trump?
I want more
information.
To do
with Trump?
I want all the information. We're entitled to all the information.
We are.
Let
us decide if it's a lie or not. We don't need somebody filtering.
Doesn't need to be hidden.
That's what the First Amendment's for. The First Amendment to the Constitution. Yep. We don't need a censor. Give us at the town hall. Let them speak, and we'll decide.
And so, what's our 3-word motto?
Vote them out. Aus.
We got a
Aus Wolfgang. Aus.
November.
Aus.
Let's do it. Show up.
Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Have a good day. Thank you.